Specialist 4th Class Michael Harrington is standing at the entrance to hell. It is a hole in the ground, it is 2 feet wide, it is perfectly round, it is hidden beneath a woven mat of bamboo and dead leaves. 10 minutes ago, it did not exist. 10 minutes ago, this was just another patch of scorched earth in a free fire zone that had been pounded by B-52s, napalmed by phantoms, and swept by infantry patrols for 3 consecutive weeks. The bombers had dropped their loads, the jets had turned the jungle into a moonscape. The infantry had found nothing, no enemy, no weapons, no rice caches, nothing, and then Private Rodriguez stepped on something that gave way with a hollow thump. He jumped back, the patrol froze, the sergeant came forward, he brushed away the leaves, and there it was, the entrance. Now Harrington is looking down into the darkness, and the darkness is looking back. "You're the smallest," the lieutenant says, his voice is flat, not apologetic, just stating a fact. "You go down." Harrington is 5'6" and weighs 140 pounds soaking wet. He is 19 years old, he is from Philadelphia, he has been in country for 6 months, he enlisted because his father was a Marine and his older brother was a Marine, and joining the army was his small rebellion. He wanted to see combat, he wanted to prove something. Now, looking at this hole, he realizes he has no idea what he wanted to prove or to whom. The equipment they give him is laughable: 45 caliber pistol, 7 rounds in the magazine, 1 extra magazine on his belt, a flashlight, the kind you buy at a hardware store. It takes 2 D-cell batteries and puts out maybe 200 lumens. It will last 3 hours if the batteries are fresh. These batteries are not fresh. A knife, a piece of string, the string is to unroll behind him so he can find his way back. Like Theseus in the labyrinth, except Theseus had a sword and was fighting one monster. Harrington has a pistol and doesn't know how many monsters are down there. "You find anything, you yell," the lieutenant says. "You find VC, you shoot first and yell after. You get stuck, you tug the string 3 times and we'll try to dig you out, you understand?" Harrington nods, his mouth is too dry to speak. He looks around at the faces of his platoon. They are looking at him with a mixture of pity and relief. Pity that he has to go down, relief that they don't. He checks his pistol, he chambers around, he clicks on the flashlight. The beam is weak and yellow in the harsh tropical sun, but when he points it into the hole, it is swallowed immediately by the darkness. He can see maybe 3 feet down, then nothing. He sits on the edge of the hole, he dangles his legs, he takes a breath, and he drops. The hole swallows him. This is how it begins, this is how it always begins. The tunnel system beneath Cu Chi District is one of the greatest engineering achievements in military history. It is also one of the greatest nightmares. The Americans will not fully understand what they are facing for years. They will not map the extent of it until long after the war is over. Even now, in 1967, they have only scratched the surface, literally. The tunnels are not a single system, they are a network, a web, a city underground. They stretch for over 150 miles. Not 150 miles of tunnel, 150 miles of interconnected passages, chambers, bunkers, hospitals, command posts, weapons factories, and living quarters. Some tunnels are shallow, just a few feet below the surface, others go down 3, 4, even 5 levels deep. The deepest chambers are 30 feet underground, below the reach of the bombs, below the water table, below the ability of any American sensor to detect. The Viet Cong have been building these tunnels for 20 years, they started during the war against the French. They dug with hand tools, baskets woven from palm fronds to carry the dirt. They carried the dirt out at night and scattered it in the rivers so the French reconnaissance planes wouldn't see the disturbed earth. They reinforced the walls with bamboo, they installed trapdoors, they built false chambers to fool the enemy. They created a 3-dimensional battlefield where they could disappear, move invisibly, and strike from below. When the Americans arrived with their helicopters and their artillery and their belief in superior firepower, the Viet Cong simply went deeper. They learned to live underground, they learned to move through spaces so narrow that a man had to exhale completely just to squeeze through. They learned to navigate in absolute darkness, they learned to be silent. And now they are waiting. The descent is a violation of every human instinct. Harrington drops 4 feet and his boots hit dirt. He is standing in a vertical shaft, the walls press against his shoulders, the air is thick and hot and smells of earth and rot and something else, something chemical and wrong. He points the flashlight down, the shaft continues, another 6 feet, then it bends, he cannot see where it goes. Above him, the circle of daylight is already impossibly far away, it is a coin of brightness that shows him the silhouettes of his platoon looking down, their voices are muffled and distant. "You okay down there?" Harrington wants to say no, he wants to say pull me out, he wants to climb back up and breathe fresh air and feel the sun on his face, but he doesn't, because he is 19 and male and American and stupid with pride. "I'm good," he calls up, his voice sounds small and swallowed. He starts to descend, the shaft is barely wide enough for his shoulders, he has to angle his body, he keeps the pistol in his right hand and the flashlight in his left, the string tied to his belt unspools behind him, he inches down, his boots scrape the dirt, the walls close in, and then the shaft bends horizontal. This is the first psychological blow. Harrington is now crawling, not walking, not crouching, crawling on his belly like a snake. The tunnel is 2 feet high and 2 feet wide, it was designed for the Viet Cong, the average Vietnamese soldier is 5'3" and weighs 120 pounds, Harrington is bigger, broader, the walls scrape his back, the ceiling brushes the top of his head, he has to push with his toes and pull with his elbows, the pistol is in his right hand, pointing forward, the flashlight is in his left, he is moving blind, the beam of light shows him 3 feet of packed earth and then nothing. He crawls 10 feet, 20, the entrance is gone, there is no light behind him, there is only the pressure of the earth on all sides and the sound of his own breathing, too loud, too fast, echoing in the confined space. And then the flashlight catches something, a shape, a dark mass ahead, Harrington stops, his heart hammers, he points the pistol, he aims the light, it's a turn, the tunnel bends 90 degrees to the right, he crawls forward, he reaches the bend, he has to twist his body to make the turn, for 3 seconds, he is stuck, his shoulders are wedged against the walls, he cannot move forward, he cannot move back, panic floods his brain, he thrashes, he pushes, and then he is through, he is in a new section, crawling again, breathing hard. He does not know it, but he has just passed the first trap. The bend in the tunnel is designed to do exactly what it did, to create a moment of helplessness, a moment when the attacker is immobilized. If there had been a VC waiting on the other side with a sharpened bamboo stake or a pistol of his own, Harrington would be dead, but there is no one, not yet. He keeps crawling, the tunnel slopes down, the air gets hotter, he is sweating through his uniform, the dirt is sticking to his face, he can taste it in his mouth, his knees are scraped raw, his elbows burn. The flashlight beam is getting dimmer, the batteries are dying, he has been underground for 10 minutes, it feels like 10 hours. And then he hears something, a sound, ahead of him, faint, a scraping, movement. He freezes, he stops breathing, he listens, the sound comes again, scrape, pause, scrape, something is moving in the tunnel ahead, something is crawling toward him. This is the essence of tunnel warfare, this is the nightmare. In conventional combat, you have space, you have visibility, you have options, you can take cover, you can flank, you can retreat, you can call for air support or artillery or reinforcements. You have a radio, you have your squad, you are part of a machine. In the tunnels, all of that is gone, you are alone, you are in a space barely larger than a coffin, you cannot turn around, you cannot stand, you cannot run, if there is an enemy ahead of you, you have 2 choices, shoot or die, and if you shoot, the muzzle flash will blind you, the concussion will deafen you, the bullet might ricochet off the dirt walls and hit you, the smoke will fill the tunnel and choke you, and every VC within 100 meters will know exactly where you are. Harrington is making calculations in his head, the scraping sound is maybe 10 feet ahead, maybe 15, he cannot see it, the flashlight is too dim, he could fire blindly, 7 rounds, spray and pray, but if he misses, he is defenseless, and he doesn't know if it's a VC or a rat. The tunnels are full of rats, big ones, jungle rats that grow to the size of cats, they feed on the dead, they bite the living. The medics say the bite infections are worse than the bullet wounds. He makes a decision, he calls out, his voice cracks. American. U.S. Army. If you're VC, I'm armed. Show yourself. The scraping stops, silence, then, from ahead, a voice, speaking Vietnamese, fast, high-pitched, frightened, a voice pleading, or warning. Harrington doesn't speak Vietnamese, he doesn't know if it's a surrender or a threat or a call for help. He inches forward, the pistol trembles in his hand, the flashlight beam bounces, 5 feet, 4, 3, and then he sees it, a face, dirt-smeared, eyes wide, a young man, maybe younger than Harrington, 16, 17, he is crawling toward Harrington, he is unarmed, his hands are in front of him, he is saying something over and over, the same word, Cong. 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 Harrington knows this word, it means no, the boy is saying no, no, please, no, don't shoot, no, I surrender. Harrington should shoot, that is the protocol, that is the training, tunnels are kill zones, no prisoners, no mercy, shoot first, but Harrington is 19 and this boy is younger and the boy's hands are empty and his eyes are full of terror. Harrington hesitates, 1 second, 2. And the boy explodes, not literally, but he moves, fast, impossibly fast, his hand darts to his side and comes up with something, a grenade, a Chinese stick grenade with the wooden handle, he pulls the cord, the fuse ignites, Harrington sees the spark, he has 3 seconds, maybe 4. Training takes over, muscle memory, Harrington fires, 1 shot, that a .45 roars in the confined space, the muzzle flash lights up the tunnel like a lightning bolt, the bullet hits the boy in the chest, the boy jerks, drops the grenade, falls backward, Harrington fires again, 3 shots, the boy is dead, but the grenade is live, it is rolling, it is 2 feet away from Harrington's face. He does the only thing he can, he scrambles backward, he pushes with his toes, he claws at the dirt with his free hand, he reverses through the tunnel, the grenade explodes, boom, the concussion is a physical force, a wall of pressure that slams into him, dirt and rocks and shrapnel fill the tunnel, the flashlight goes out, the beam shatters, Harrington is in absolute darkness, he is deaf, his ears are ringing, he cannot hear anything but a high-pitched whine, he cannot see, he cannot breathe. The tunnel is filled with smoke and dust, he is choking, coughing, spitting dirt. He realizes he is still holding the pistol, 4 rounds left, he realizes he is still alive, he realizes the grenade did not kill him because the boy's body absorbed most of the blast, the corpse saved him. He lies in the darkness and shakes, he vomits, he dry heaves, and then he starts crawling again, backward, away from the dead boy, away from the smoke, toward the light. But he doesn't make it to the light. Because as he crawls backward, his boot hits something, a wall, but not a dirt wall, a wooden wall, a door, a trapdoor, and as he kicks it, it gives way, it swings open, and Harrington falls, he drops through the floor into a lower level, he lands hard on his back, the impact knocks the wind out of him, he lies gasping, he has no idea where he is. He has no flashlight, he has lost the string, he is in total darkness in a place under the ground. He lies still and listens, his ears are still ringing from the grenade blast, but slowly, other sounds filter through, breathing, not his own, multiple sources, faint, rhythmic, people sleeping, or pretending to sleep, he is in a chamber, he doesn't know how big, he doesn't know how many people are in here with him, he can feel the space, the air moves differently, it's not a tunnel, it's a room. He sits up slowly, he points the pistol into the darkness, useless, he can't see, he whispers, anyone here speak English? Silence, then a voice, a man's voice, calm, accented but clear, yes, I speak English. Harrington's blood freezes, who are you? I am a doctor, this is a hospital, you are wounded. A hospital, Harrington's mind struggles to process this, an underground hospital, for the Viet Cong, he has fallen into their medical bunker, he is surrounded by wounded enemy soldiers and their medics. I'm not wounded, Harrington says, I'm American, U.S. Army, I'm armed, don't move. A pause, then the voice again, amused, tired, we are not moving, we are lying down, some of us cannot move, you shot your way in here. I fell. Ah, you fell, that is unfortunate, for both of us. Harrington's eyes are adjusting, or rather, his mind is, in absolute darkness, you start to see things that aren't there, shapes, shadows, his brain fills in the gaps, he thinks he can see the outlines of bodies, forms lying on mats. He thinks he can see the man who is speaking, sitting, cross-legged, calm. "How many of you?" Harrington asks. 7, 3 wounded, for not, myself included. How many bullets do you have? Harrington doesn't answer. The doctor continues. "You have a pistol, I can hear it, 45 caliber, yes. 7 rounds. You shot 3 times in the tunnel, so you have 4 left, maybe 5 if you loaded 8, not enough to kill us all before we kill you, even if we are wounded, even if we are unarmed, which we are not." Harrington's throat is dry. "What do you want?" "I want you to leave. I want you to go back up your hole and tell your friends that there is nothing down here. I want you to lie." "Why would I do that?" "Because if you do not, I will have my men kill you, and then when your friends come looking for you, we will kill them too, or we will collapse the tunnel and bury you all, or we will set traps that will maim you in ways you cannot imagine. We have done this before, we will do it again, but if you leave now, we have a treaty, you live, we live, you go back to your base, we continue our work, everyone goes home." Harrington is trying to think. The protocol is clear. He should shoot, he should kill as many as he can, he should call for backup, but he has no radio, he has no light, he has no idea where the exit is, and this man sounds very confident. "How do I know you won't kill me when I try to leave?" "You do not know, but you know that if you stay, you will certainly die, and you know that we have allowed you to live this long for a reason. We could have killed you when you fell, we did not, that is your answer." This is the choice, this is the microcosm of the war. Harrington can fight, he can fire his 4 bullets into the darkness and hope he kills enough of them before they swarm him. He can die here in a hole under Vietnam trying to prove he is brave, or he can retreat. He can accept that he has stumbled into a place where the rules are different, where survival is negotiated, where the enemy offers mercy because killing him is more trouble than it's worth. He makes a decision. Which way is out? Behind you, 10 paces, there is a ladder, bamboo rungs. It goes up to a tunnel. The tunnel goes north, 50 meters. It will bring you to a shaft that leads to the surface. You will come out near a rubber plantation. Walk east, you will find your people. Harrington backs up. He keeps the pistol pointed at where he thinks the voice is. He feels behind him with his free hand. His fingers find the rungs of the ladder. He climbs, 1 rung, 2, 3, he reaches the tunnel, he crawls. He moves as fast as he can in the darkness. He does not look back. He does not fire a final shot. He runs. And he makes it. He emerges into daylight gasping and covered in filth and shaking. The platoon finds him 2 hours later. He is sitting at the base of a rubber tree a kilometer from where he went down. He is staring at nothing. When they ask him what happened, he lies. He says the tunnel collapsed. He says he barely got out. He says there was nothing down there. The lieutenant doesn't believe him, but he doesn't push, because Harrington came back alone, and men who go into the tunnels alone and come back changed are not questioned. They are just marked, noted, and watched. Harrington will go down 7 more times before his tour ends. Each time, he will find something: weapons caches, document rooms, sleeping chambers. Each time, he will call for the engineers to blow the tunnels. Each time, he will watch the ground collapse in on itself, and each time, he will know that somewhere below, the tunnels continue. The system is too vast, too deep, too old. You can collapse one section and the Viet Cong will just dig around it. You can pump in tear gas and they will seal off the affected chambers. You can flood the tunnels and they will build sumps. You can send down men with flamethrowers and they will wait in lower levels until the fire burns out. The mistake the Americans are making is thinking they can win underground. To understand why the tunnel rats exist, you have to understand the larger failure. The American military in 1967 is the most powerful fighting force in human history. It has nuclear weapons, aircraft carriers, B-52 bombers, napalm, helicopters, tanks, and artillery that can level a mountain. It has satellites and radar and infrared sensors. It has the industrial capacity of the United States behind it. It can deliver more firepower in a single day than was used in the entire Second World War, and yet, it cannot stop a network of tunnels dug by hand. The 25th Infantry Division sets up their base camp directly on top of the Cu Chi Tunnel Complex. They don't know it at the time. They choose the location because it's flat and clear and has good road access. They bulldoze the area. they build barracks and command posts and mess halls, they string barbed wire, they dig latrines, and every night, the Viet Cong emerge from trapdoors inside the American perimeter. They sabotage vehicles, they cut communication lines, they plant mines, they shoot soldiers walking to the latrine, they vanish before dawn. It takes the Americans months to realize what is happening. When they finally discover the tunnels, their first response is bombs. They call in airstrikes, the jets drop 500-pound bombs on the suspected tunnel entrances, the bombs crater the earth, they shake the ground, they terrify the soldiers on the surface, but underground, the Viet Cong sit in their chambers and wait. The tunnels are designed to absorb the shock. The chambers collapse. They dig new ones, the entrances are buried. They open new exits. The second response is gas, riot control agents, CS gas. They pump it into the tunnels with blowers, the gas floods the passages, anyone without a mask chokes and vomits, their eyes burn, their lungs seize, but the Viet Cong have prepared for this too. They soak rags in urine and tie them over their faces, the ammonia neutralizes the gas, they seal off sections with clay doors, they wait for the gas to dissipate, and then they open the doors and continue. The third response is water. Engineers pump thousands of gallons into the tunnels. The idea is to flood them, to drown anyone inside or at least make them uninhabitable, but the tunnels have drainage systems, sumps dug below the main passages, the water flows into the sumps, it seeps into the water table, the main tunnels remain dry, and the Viet Cong remain hidden. The fourth response, the final response, is men, because in the end, the only way to clear a tunnel is to go inside, and so the tunnel rats are born. They are not an official unit, they are not trained, they are volunteers, sort of. The reality is that most tunnel rats are voluntold. The sergeant looks at the platoon and picks the smallest men. You're going down, but some men, a few, actually volunteer. They are a specific type. Claustrophobic people do not volunteer for tunnel duty, neither do people with good sense. The men who volunteer are the ones who are bored, the ones who are angry, the ones who want to prove something or who are running from something or who have decided that if they're going to die in Vietnam, they might as well die doing something that matters. By 1968, the tunnel rats have become a subculture within the war. They have their own patches, unofficial and handmade, a drawing of a rat with a knife in its teeth and a flashlight in its paw. They have their own motto, non gratum anus rodentum, dog Latin for, not worth a rat's ass. They have their own rituals. Before going down, they strip off their helmets and flak jackets, too bulky, too loud. They wear only a t-shirt and pants. They take off their dog tags because the metal clinks. They carry the .45 pistol because a rifle is too long to maneuver in the tunnels. Some carry a knife, a few carry a flashlight, some don't. They learn to navigate by feel. They develop a sixth sense, an ability to detect traps. The Viet Cong are artists of cruelty. They rig the tunnels with bamboo stakes coated in feces. The stakes swing out of hidden alcoves when you trip a wire. They are positioned at neck height, chest height, groin height. If the stake punctures you, the infection will kill you even if the wound doesn't. They dig pits, false floors that give way when you step on them. The pit is filled with spikes. You fall, you are impaled, you die slowly in the dark. They place scorpions in ceramic jars rigged to break when disturbed. The scorpion stings are agonizing but not lethal. The point is to make you scream, to make you thrash, to panic. They use snakes, bamboo vipers, krites. They place them in sections of tunnel and seal off both ends. You crawl in, the snake strikes, you cannot retreat fast enough. The venom is neurotoxic, you suffocate. The tunnel rats learn to move differently. They do not rush. They probe every inch of ground with a knife or a stick before placing their weight on it. They watch for disturbed dirt, for tripped wires thin as human hair. They listen. The Viet Cong breathe. They shift. They whisper. If you are silent and still, you can hear them, and they can hear you. The psychology of tunnel warfare is its own battlefield. Sergeant James Jimmy Thornton is a tunnel rat. He is 23 years old. He is from West Virginia. He is 5'4". He was a coal miner before he was drafted. He jokes that the tunnels of Cu Chi are bigger and safer than the coal mines back home, but he doesn't joke when he's underground. Underground, Jimmy is something else. He is a predator. On February 14, 1968, Valentine's Day, Jimmy goes down into a tunnel complex near the Iron Triangle. The infantry found the entrance during a sweep. The entrance is a spider hole, a vertical shaft hidden under a cooking pot. The pot is warm. Someone was here recently. Jimmy is sent down to investigate. He descends with his .45 and a penlight. The penlight is taped to the barrel of the pistol with olive drab tape, makeshift but effective. The beam points where the gun points. The shaft goes down 10 feet and opens into a tunnel. The tunnel is narrow. Jimmy crawls. The air is stale and smells of smoke and nuoc mam, fermented fish sauce. That smell means people. The Viet Cong live down here. They cook, they eat, they sleep. Jimmy crawls for 20 meters. The tunnel branches, left or right. He chooses left, no reason, just instinct. The left tunnel opens into a chamber. It's small, maybe 6 feet by 6 feet. The ceiling is just high enough to crouch. Jimmy shines the light. The chamber is furnished. There is a sleeping mat, a water jug, a shelf carved into the wall with books on it. Books. He can see the titles. Some are in Vietnamese. One is in French, Les Miserables. Someone down here reads Victor Hugo. For a moment, Jimmy is struck by the absurdity. He is underground in Vietnam in a war zone looking at a bookshelf. He is invading someone's bedroom. This chamber is a home. Then he notices the other thing. A rifle, an AK-47 leaning against the wall, within reach of the sleeping mat, which means whoever lives here is armed, which means Jimmy needs to leave, now. He backs out of the chamber. He returns to the junction. He takes the right tunnel this time. This tunnel slopes down, deeper. The air gets hotter. He is sweating. The tunnel narrows. He has to squeeze. His shoulders scrape the walls, and then he hears it. A cough, ahead of him. Someone is down here. Someone is alive. Close. Jimmy stops. He turns off the penlight. Total darkness. He listens. The cough comes again. Wet, painful. The sound of sickness. Someone with a lung infection, or maybe tuberculosis. The Viet Cong suffer from TB, living underground in the humidity, breathing recycled air. It spreads fast. Jimmy makes a decision. He turns the light back on. He shouts in the limited Vietnamese he knows, Chiu Hoi. Surrender, Chiu Hoi. He waits, no response. He crawls forward, slowly. The tunnel opens into another chamber, and there, lying on a mat, is a man, an old man, maybe 50, maybe older. He is thin, his face is gaunt, his shirt is soaked with sweat. He is looking at Jimmy with resignation, not fear, just tired acceptance. He says something in Vietnamese. Jimmy doesn't understand. The man gestures at his chest. He coughs again. Blood flecks his lips. Jimmy realizes this man is dying, not from bullets or bombs, from disease, from living in a hole in the ground for years. This man is not a threat. He is a corpse waiting to happen. Jimmy should shoot him, or he should capture him, bring him up for interrogation. But Jimmy looks at this dying man and makes a choice. He backs away. He leaves the man where he is. He crawls back up to the surface. He reports that the tunnel was empty. A dead end. The lieutenant asks, "You sure? You check every chamber?" "Yes, sir, nothing down there." The lieutenant orders the engineers to blow the entrance. They stuff it with C4 and detonate. The tunnel collapses. The old man is buried alive, or maybe he's already dead by the time the charges go off. Jimmy will never know, but he will think about it, for decades. This is the moral fog of the tunnels. You are not just fighting an enemy, you are fighting yourself. In a conventional battle, the enemy is clear. They are over there, you are here. You shoot at them, they shoot at you. You advance, they retreat, or vice versa. There are rules, there are protocols, but in the tunnels, the lines blur. You find a wounded soldier, do you kill him? You find a teenager with a rifle, do you shoot first? You find a command bunker with maps and documents, do you destroy it or preserve it for intelligence? You find a hospital, do you grenade it or walk away? The tunnel rats develop their own code. It's not official, it's not written down, but it exists. The code says, if they shoot, you shoot. If they run, let them run. If they surrender, take the prisoner if you can. If you can't, make the call. The code says, respect the trap. The VC who rigs a spike pit is an artist. Hate him, but respect him. The code says, every tunnel is different. Every tunnel is trying to kill you. Trust your gut, trust nothing else. The casualties among the tunnel rats are staggering, not just from combat, from the environment, from the psychological toll, men go down and don't come up, lost in the maze, trapped in collapsed sections, suffocated by bad air. Some sections of the tunnel network are so deep that the oxygen is depleted, the torches the VC use consume it, you crawl into a low oxygen zone and you get dizzy, you get confused. You make mistakes, you take a wrong turn, you crawl until you pass out, you die in the dark. Other men come up changed, they are quiet, they don't talk, they stare, they flinch at loud noises, they can't sleep, when they do sleep, they dream of tunnels, narrow spaces, walls closing in, no way out, they wake up screaming. The medics call it tunnel sickness, a form of combat fatigue specific to this kind of warfare. There is no treatment, no protocol, you just send the man back to the rear, you don't send him down again. By 1969, the tunnel rats have a reputation, they are respected and feared in equal measure. Other soldiers don't envy them, they don't mock them. When a tunnel rat walks into a mess hall, men make space, they buy him a beer, they listen to his stories if he wants to tell them. Most don't, most tunnel rats drink alone, most count the days until their tour is over, most pray they never see another tunnel. But the tunnels keep opening, because the system is immortal. The Americans throw everything at Cu Chi, they defoliate the area with Agent Orange, they strip the jungle bare, they turn the earth into a toxic desert, but the tunnels are underground, the Agent Orange doesn't touch them, they carpet bomb with B-52s, arc-light missions, massive, the bombs create craters 50 feet across, but the tunnel network is 150 miles, a few sections collapse, the rest remain. In 1969, the Americans launch Operation Crimp, then Operation Cedar Falls, massive search and destroy missions, thousands of troops, tanks, helicopters, engineers. The goal is to find the tunnels and destroy them permanently. They find hundreds of entrances, they pump in gas, they blow the entrances, they bulldoze the area, they declare victory, and 3 weeks later, the Viet Cong are back. They dig new entrances, they clear the rubble, they repair the collapsed sections, they are patient. They are persistent, they are winning the war of attrition underground. The real story of the tunnels is not the individual battles, it is the realization. Sometime in 1970, the American command staff has a meeting, they look at the reports, they look at the casualty figures, they look at the maps with the tunnel networks marked in red, and they realize, we cannot win this, we cannot destroy the tunnels, we can kill tunnel rats, we can send down more men, we can train them better, we can give them better equipment, but we cannot eliminate the system. Because the system is not just tunnels, it is an idea, it is the Vietnamese willingness to live underground for years, to sacrifice comfort, to sacrifice sunlight, to sacrifice their health and their lives in order to resist. You cannot bomb an idea, you cannot gas a belief, you cannot flood a commitment. The tunnels of Cu Chi are the ultimate asymmetric weapon, they do not defeat the Americans in a conventional sense, the VC do not march out of the tunnels and take Saigon, but they do not need to, the tunnels exist, their existence is the victory. Every tunnel rat sent down is a soldier not patrolling, every hour spent clearing a tunnel is an hour not spent fighting elsewhere. Every collapsed tunnel that is rebuilt is proof that the Americans are not winning, the tunnels turn the war into a stalemate, and in a war of attrition, a stalemate is a loss for the side with the clock. The end comes slowly, then all at once. In 1971, Vietnamization is in full effect, the Americans are pulling out, the bases are being handed over to the South Vietnamese Army, the tunnel rats are going home. Specialist Michael Harrington, now a sergeant, completes his second tour, he does not re-enlist, he goes back to Philadelphia, he gets a job, he gets married, he has kids, he does not talk about Vietnam. When people ask, he says he was in the infantry, he does not mention the tunnels. At night, when he can't sleep, he walks the streets of Philadelphia, the open sky, the wide avenues, the space, he breathes. In 1975, Saigon falls, the North Vietnamese tanks roll into the city, the Americans evacuate from the embassy roof, the war is over, the tunnels of Cu Chi are open to the public, tourists come, they crawl through sanitized sections that have been widened for Western bodies, they take photos, they buy souvenirs, the guides, former Viet Cong, tell stories of the brave fighters who lived underground. They do not mention the disease, the starvation, the terror, they tell the story of resistance, of victory. The mistake the Americans made was thinking the tunnels were a problem that could be solved. They were not a problem, they were a philosophy. You cannot defeat a philosophy with firepower, you cannot destroy an idea with explosives. The tunnel rats were some of the bravest men in Vietnam. They went into the dark armed with pistols and flashlights and faced an enemy that had every advantage. They crawled through spaces designed to kill them, they fought battles that no one saw and that few people remember. They were heroes in a war that had no heroes. But they were trying to win a fight that could not be won, not because they lacked courage, not because they lacked skill, but because the enemy was not in the tunnels, the enemy was the tunnels, and you cannot shoot a hole in the ground, you cannot capture Earth, you cannot make mud surrender. Epilogue: The Last Tunnel Rat. There is a man living in Texas, he is 74 years old, he served 2 tours in Vietnam as a tunnel rat, he went down 127 times, he survived, he keeps a .45 pistol in a box in his garage, he has not fired it since 1971. He does not go into basements, he does not go into caves, he will not fly in planes because the cabin is too small. He lives in a ranch house with high ceilings and big windows, he needs to see the sky. On certain nights, when the heat is oppressive and the air is still, he dreams he is crawling through a tunnel, the walls are closing in, the flashlight is dying, he hears breathing ahead, he reaches for his pistol, he wakes up, he is in his bed, his wife is next to him. The room is dark, for a moment, just a moment, he does not know where he is, he does not know if he is still down there, in the earth, in the dark, crawling towards something or away from something, forever. The tunnels of Cu Chi are still there, you can visit them, you can crawl through them, but the sections open to tourists are the safe ones, the ones that have been widened and cleared and lit, the real tunnels, the deep ones, the ones that spiral down 3, 4, 5 levels, those are still sealed, still dark, still full of ghosts, still waiting. 2/2